Hello everyone, my name is Leticia. I was born in Guatemala, Central America in March 1950. I come from a large family. My mother was a single mother with 8 more children. And I was one of the older ones who had to work very hard. We were very poor and I was working so hard to support the little ones. When I was only 6, my mother was renting an oven at this bakery store, and at 3 in the morning we have to get up and have everything ready for my mother to make some bread. We call it quesadillas or pan de maíz in Guatemala, and we walk with big baskets in our heads, carrying everything that my mother needed for the bread.
And we know that you got your first pair of shoes when you were only 7.
When I was 7, I was on the school, and at that time we still poor. We were still very poor. No shoes for anybody. And the only reason I got my first pair of shoes is because this rich man came and he purchased hundreds of shoes for all the kids there on that school. And they came over one day, and I was one of the ones, my sister also. We went to the patio where they have all the shoes, and that was my first pair of plastic shoes. I like to show off my shoes.
How old were you again?
I was 7.
Aw, it's okay. All right. What did your parents do for a living? As a child, did they contribute to the family income, or did you help your parents work in any way?
Yes, I did. My father was never home because my mother was already single then. So we have to work and support the little ones, but I did contribute my mom, because being the older one is not easy, it's very hard. You have to work whether you like it or not. So we have to get up at 5 in the morning and make bread or food to go and sell on the streets or big companies where a lot of men work. So at their break time, we went and sell atole, tostadas, chile rellenos, whatever my mom made for us to go out and sell.
What do you identify yourself as?
I identify myself as a woman, and a blessed one too, because I do have all my children, and I am blessed to have a wonderful family and wonderful children. I am so blessed.
Describe your siblings and your interactions with them when they were young. What was your role in the family as an older female?
My role as the older one of the family, second to the oldest, it was hard. Every time when the little ones get sick or something happened to them, I was the one who had to take them to the hospital. At one point, one of the doctors got very upset because he says that he knew me very well, but he never met my mother because I was the only one who took care of them in the house, and also taking them everywhere, making sure they take showers, making sure they do things, But I was like a mother for them.
All 8 siblings.
Yeah, for all the rest of them.
Do you feel that your responsibilities and roles in your family affected how you grew up? Was it negative or positive?
Oh, yes. I think it was both ways. Positive way, it made me stronger and make decisions, sometimes wrong decisions, but it helped me in a way. Negative way, I didn't want to be one of the older ones because working too hard for the family, it takes away things that you want to do. I have no chance to have a childhood, no time to play, no time to make friends. And I always dreamed to be a nurse. I always wanted to be a nurse, and I went to the hospital one time, and the doctors told me that they can take me a night shift, and it was for free, education for free. I was so happy, and I went and told my mom that I wanted to enroll in the hospital for free, and she says, no, you have to help me to raise your family, and you cannot go to school. And I just cried. I was so discouraged. That helped me too, to keep going and just be positive and have hope. It showed me to be independent, not to depend on anybody, because not even my mom was never home. I was the one who was taking care of them, and I grew up to be independent. Independent, and it is nice to make good decisions. Sometimes, like I said, wrong decisions, but that's how we learn.
Describe the community and home that you grew up in, especially your own neighborhood around Guatemala.
My neighborhood was so poor, just like everybody else there. The kids, because we didn't have no games, no toys, no nothing, we play on the street, rope, and the boys make little trains out of the juice, can juice, and they make holes and they put a rope in between and they pull the little train. That was one of the games for the boys. For the girls, sticks from the broom. We cut the broom, the sticks, and we play many different toys. But you learn to be creative too. The house where we live, it was not a house, it was a shack. It was a little shack that even crooked because it was not even straight. We did not have enough money for the wood. They put the wood on top of each other, but big cracks. And we could see the outside and people could see us to the inside too. So what we use inside the house to cover all those holes and for insulation probably, we use cardboard. We cover all the walls from the inside with cardboard, and that protects us from the rain too and the wind. The train also used to come by our house, and that light was so strong. And that was one way to have light because we didn't have electricity. No electricity, no water, no nothing. And we have to carry water from about maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles in our heads. To wash clothes, we went to the river and washed clothes for people for 25 cents a day. And we washed all the clothes they gave us for 25 cents. The house, like I said, it was a shack. It wasn't a house, but we were happy. Everybody else in the neighborhood were the same. Some people they didn't even have shack. They have like a big table on the patio and they live under the table with blankets around it. It was like a homeless, but not really. They were not homeless. We were poor, but not homeless.
What was it like being a woman inside of this community?
Being a woman, sometimes it's also hard. Nowadays over here, they want to pay less. They want to treat you different than a man. But I'm so glad. I'm just, I don't care. I know I've been discriminated. I've been saying a lot of things, but I don't care. I am happy that I live on this country.
What were your goals for migrating into the United States?
My goals was to give my children a better life. I had 2 children who were born in Guatemala, and I just wanted to try my best and give them the best. Now, I heard so many good things about this country. I wanted to come over here and take advantage of that, that blessing for them too.
What is your highest level of education?
In Guatemala, I only went to 6th grade. Over here, I got my GED in Twin Falls, Idaho. I used to live over there. So I had my GED, and when I came back to California, I got my CNA. Yes, that's it.
Did you have any career or educational goals for migrating into the United States?
When I came to the United States, all I wanted to do is work and make money.
How has adapting to the American culture affected you?
Oh, I adapted to this beautiful life so quick. So quickly. Very fast, yes. I love it. Everything is easy here. Even washing your clothes, you have a washer and dryer machine. You don't have to go to the river where I was going all the time. Cooking, microwave, everything is so easy. Oh, I adjusted so quickly.
How did you learn English?
Oh my goodness, that is a good one. The reason I learned English is because my first daughter, Ruth, she was just a little girl, maybe 4, but she knew English. So I took her to the stores and she was my translator. One day I took her to the Santa Cruz market over here on Hollister Avenue, And I was waiting for her to say something to the lady there, to the cashier, and she just stood there and she looked at me and she says, "Why don't you learn English? You are old enough. Learn English. I'm not going to say anything." And then she stood there. I was so embarrassed and I realized, this is true. I have to learn English. So what I did when I got out of the store, I was working for this big company here in Goleta. I went to the store and got me a dictionary and a big book, and I was writing down words. However I listen people talking, I wrote it down and then I look on my dictionary, and that's how I learned a little. But the rest I learned with the rest of my kids, watching Sesame Street. Every Saturday it was cartoon days on all the channels, and they got up at 6 in the morning. They were on the living room already watching those cartoons, and I got up with them. I was watching Sesame Street, and that's how I learned a lot. Until today, the English that I speak, you have to forgive me, it's not perfect, but that is what I learned by myself. Never went to school to learn no English.
Who did you migrate with to the United States and how?
I came to the United States with my older sister, Lydia. We came on a big bus to Tijuana, and then we found a coyote. We walked all night in the mountains. I don't know where it was because it was dark, but we walked all night. And about 3 or 4 in the morning, it's still dark, when we got to this river, part of San Diego. I don't know what river was it either. All I know, it was a big river. And then the coyote told us that if you guys know how to swim to the other side, and if you don't know, you're welcome to go back. Well, nobody wanted to go back because we walked all night, so we started swimming to the other side, and then we were hiding behind the bushes. One of the coyotes picked us up and he took us to another part of San Clemente, and he left us there for 2 days, hiding on the bushes for 2 days with no food. It was a big group of 14 people, so we stayed there all together. When 2 days later, one of the coyotes came and picked us up and brought us to LA.
How was your family when you moved into the United States?
I was 22 when I came to the United States. That's 1972. It's been a long time. In 1976, my mom passed away in Guatemala, and we all flee to Guatemala, and while we were there, my sister and her two kids decided to stay there in Guatemala, living and taking care of my 2 little sisters. One day in 1977, the November 2nd, they were traveling to the cemetery to bring some flowers to my brother-in-law's mother, and they suffered a car accident and they both died, and they left 3 little kids over there. So I went to Guatemala and adopted those 3 kids. So now I have 4 of my own and 3 adopted ones from my sister, so I had 7.
Do you feel that migrating to the United States has improved or worsened your family or personal life as a single Guatemalan mother?
That's the best thing ever happened in my life. Because of that, migrating over here, my rest of my kids were born over here, and this is life. This is like heaven, living on this country. If you work really hard, you can have your stuff. And also teach me not to have my family or not to get anything by granted. You have to appreciate. I am very conservative, and I like to appreciate everything that I get because I work very hard for it. I love my family. I thank God every day for my family because they are all blessed. And I am proud to be American citizen.
What was the most difficult part about leaving to migrate into the United States?
The most difficult part was leaving my mom behind because she was single. She still have a few children with her, but it was hard because we told her that we were going to come only 5 years, but we never went back. That was the hardest part, to leave her behind.
Would you ever move back to Guatemala?
I know. There's no way in the world. No way. Never. I am happy here and I am going to die here. Sadly, Guatemala is the country where I was born there and I love it, but that country never gave me the opportunity that this country did.
Can you give us a small update on where you, your family, and kids are now after moving into the United States?
We are doing so well. One of my kids is a pilot. My youngest son lives in Brazil. He's been so blessed with his family. My daughter is a manager on the bank. Things that we never dream of. Never have these opportunities in Guatemala. My other son works for the University of California. So they're all doing well. They're all doing very, very good.
And you're married again?
That's the best part now. I found this wonderful man, Roger, and I married him in 2000. He's a wonderful man and very supportive. I have a lot of grandkids. My family is growing and it keeps growing.
Now to finish the interview, is there anything else that you'd like to say for other Latin Americans who have migrated to the United States, or like anything or anybody who is watching this right now?
I know a lot of people comes from other countries following a dream because they want a better life for their families, and I don't blame them because that's how I came to this country too. I just like to encourage them to keep following their dream, never to give up, to have faith and trust God that someday your dream is going to come true. And to be grateful, never to take anything for granted. Be honest, that's something. When I became a citizen, I put my hand on the Bible and I promised never to be a burden to this country. And until today, God knows I never asked for welfare or anything, nothing, no help from nowhere. I worked 3 jobs and I'm here, I'm alive. Yeah.
You're all done.
Oh, that's
Don't
good.
stop recording. Thanks, Grandma. You're the best.
I love you. Oh, I love you. I love you. Oh, my grandchildren. I am blessed to have grandchildren. This is what you get, see? This is what you
Grandma
get.
Lety rocks.
Oh,
We
I love you, girls.
Thank
I
you for
love
sharing
you.
this with us.
It was my pleasure. And I just hope that somebody who's watching follow their dreams also and keep trying and working hard. Someday you're going to be there too. Yes.
Thank you. We're done.
Okay.